Mother Nature has been giving us quite the battle here recently, at least to kick off our winter, as we've already had 18 inches of snowfall. In addition, we've already seen a frigid weekend with wind chills well into those negatives, even close to negative 28 degrees. But of course, she has one more winter weather ace up her sleeve, and that is a flash freeze. Now, flash freezes occur when we have a warm and wet start to our day or to the event, followed by a major shift in our temperatures, rapidly dropping our temps, where tomorrow we'll go from the middle to upper 40s all the way down into the low teens to even single digits over the course of just a couple of hours. And finally, you need some strong winds to help a lot when it comes to the cooling process, because if heat's able to stagnate down below and not be moved all too much, well, it's harder to go ahead and cool. But if you have winds continuing to push heat away from the ground and surfaces, well, that's when you get a quick flash freeze. And to top it off, bridges, overpasses, those are the most areas that are susceptible to seeing these black ice events develop. So with that in mind, tomorrow we could potentially see some tricky travel. So let's go ahead and take a look at what the forecast entails. Heading into the beginning of our Thursday, we'll start to see some rainfall around 5 to 7 o'clock in the morning, and could even see some heavier rainfall at times as we get close to that right around 11 to noon hour. And as a cold front comes through, it's going to start to push most of that moisture away. Now, Timecast is suggesting some snowfall. I don't think that's going to be a possibility. But what I do think is going to happen is we could potentially get a quarter to a half of an inch, and that is also going to help melt a lot of the snow still on our ground, which means even more water is expected to get onto our roads, driveways, and sidewalks. Now, temperatures behind this front are going to plummet. We're going to see highs top out in the middle to upper 40s, and maybe even 50s aren't out of the picture. But once that front comes through around noon, we're going to see a steady and steep decline in our overall temps, as we're going to go from the middle to even upper 40s to kick off our noon, and by 5 o'clock, sitting close to that freezing mark, if not slightly below. And by the time we get towards 9 o'clock, could potentially be as low as the low teens, even upper single digits. And combine that with a very strong wind gust close to 25 to 30 miles per hour, even 40 miles per hour in a few places. And man, you are setting up a recipe for a flash freeze and for black ice to develop. So with all that in mind, you want to give yourself plenty of travel time, especially since bridges and overpasses, which there's quite a bit across the region because we have quite a bit of rivers and creeks, well, those are going to be your most susceptible. As with the ground, at least below the ground and surface, you have a little bit of an insulating layer. However, when it comes to bridges and overpasses, cold air can go above and below it, causing an even faster cooling off. So with all this in mind, to help prevent at least as much as you can a flash freeze tomorrow, right when the rain wraps up, probably your best time to go ahead and get that salt on your roads and on your driveways and your sidewalks.